Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Monday Prep, Memorial Day edition of the Monday Prep here at Rocket Launch Sports Picks. We know that today is a day to honor and recognize and embrace every soldier who has fallen for our freedom, for the United States of America, remembering that all the sports that we play, all the sports that we watch, and everything else in between has been made possible by the endless sacrifices of our soldiers past and present. With that, to honor those who have died in service, I am going to take a quick 5-second moment of silence before starting. And with that out of the way, let's get on to the action. Yesterday we had the Thunder and the Spurs. The Spurs came out with fire in a huge Game 4. They needed it, and they were able to tie up the series. SGA did not play the entire fourth quarter. He had 6 assists in the first half, just nothing there in the second half. He ended up at 7 assists. Dylan Harper, non-factor on offense. He's one of the harder guys to predict. We have had a couple of props on him, but he gets 7 points where we had him over 10.5. Let's look at the entire week. Went 1 for 3 on the week. More picks. This includes paid picks as well, picks that were not talked about in this video. Gonna have more specific breakdowns coming of this in the future, but this was better than the 19% from the previous week, and especially with more picks, definitely a step forward here. You can see again, some days were better than others. The best days were Friday and Saturday with a 3 for 6 clip, alongside Tuesday with a 2 for 3, and went blank on Monday and Thursday, 0 for 2 in the NBA picks. And that also included yesterday. And yesterday, with that, we had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 7.5 assists. And again, that did not come to fruition in a day that Oklahoma City was just flat on shooting. 33% from the field, 18% from 3. San Antonio honestly didn't shoot very well either. 38.9 and 27%. But they did enough. They were able to get to the free throw line. They were crashing the basket. 14 offensive rebounds. A lot of great work from them. But for Oklahoma City and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going 6 for 15 from the field. He was 7 for 7 from the free throw line. 7 assists, 4 rebounds. But you can see the one guy who had a +2 in the starting lineup was Chet Holmgren. 3 for 8 from the field. He grabbed 9 rebounds while he was at it, going 4 for 6 from the line. Tough day for Oklahoma City, who really had no grip of this game whatsoever. But you look at the Spurs. The Spurs obviously were much better, and Dylan Harper, while he wasn't as big of a factor on offense, he was still overall well-rounded with 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He was able to contribute to all aspects of the scorecard with 21 minutes that he played. He went 2 for 4 from the field, so not very many attempts on offense, but still a very productive player. But you can see Stephon Castle, 5 for 11. We had a paid pick on him that we'll go through in a sec. Victor Wembanyama, it was especially clear in the first half. He took 16 shots in that first half. Now, obviously, he made that huge half quarter. It was an absolutely incredible half-court shot. But overall, his team didn't take that many shots in the first half around him. It was more of a balanced effort in the second half, and they were able to get it done. We also have Lou Dort, over 2.5 rebounds. He was able to get that. He got 4 rebounds. Good job for Lou Dort, getting us our one and only bet of the day, going 1 for 5 overall. Julian Champagnie's continuing to struggle from the three-point line and really shooting overall. He went 1 for 5 from the field. He is just having a rough time shooting the ball right now. All players have it. Champagnie's one of the better shooters in the league, but he has not been over the last 3 games, and he could not get out of it at home in Game 4. Stephon Castle, not a bad game at all. He had 17 points. Let me look back at that box score so I can give you the real numbers here on Stephon Castle. It was 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. 6 rebounds and 3 assists. He fell short of the 31.5. He's had games of being a big contributor, but, you know, they have come at a relative 30 to 40% clip. He was not necessarily that. I mean, they got back to their full squad, which was fine, but he did not necessarily perform at that level. Remember, ROCKETUPSB is our code for 2 sweat free tokens, up to 200 back on those tokens with that free pick. Let's go on to the Eastern Conference Game 4. If you get 2 of these picks correct, you can put in $10 and get 28, or you can put 100, get in 280. Get out 280. whatever you want. Mikal Bridges, over 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That's a very confident one for us. Donovan Mitchell, coming in this elimination game here tonight, we expect him to go over 9.5 field goals made. Let's break it down. Bridges has been a key player for them in the series. He's done it in his last 8 games. So this last 8 games is the 3 games of the Cavs series, it's the 4 games of the Sixers series, and it's that last game of the Atlanta Hawks series. And all of those games, the last 8 games, he has gone over 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. You can see before those 8 games, he only had done it in 2 of his previous 12, so you can see 10 out of 20 on the charts. So in that most of that Atlanta series going into the end of the regular season, he wasn't the biggest factor on offense. But you look at the head-to-head against Cleveland, all 3 games, not just all 3 games of the series, but 3 of the 4 games in the regular season, this regular season, he was able to do it. And even has one dating back to the previous regular season. So a very, very good game for Mikal Bridges. Very good overall. A lot of great things happening here for Mikal Bridges. We expect more of the same from him, being able to get this done and get this trend going. But a key thing we want to look at, he has been a tremendous shooter from the field all postseason long. You can see that his scoring average is very similar. His minutes are very similar, but he is taking higher percentage shots. 62.8 versus the 48% in the regular season. I mean, 48% is still really good, but he is shooting particularly well in the postseason. A lot of high percentage shots that he is getting for his team. He's also been significantly better on the road this year. You can see a bit more minutes. You can see 15.6 points per game over 13.1, a bit more on the rebounding. He has been a better player outside of Madison Square Garden all season long. We expect him to be a big player here in Cleveland tonight as they look to put away the series and sweep what would be a second consecutive series. Let's go on to Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's on the other side. He's down 3-0. He walked the tightrope against the Detroit Pistons. They were the number 1 seed in the East, but he has been on and off here against the Knicks, but we expect him to come back and get something done here to go over 9.5 field goals. He was able to get 10 in that Game 7 against Detroit. In Detroit, he was able to do it in the Game 1, 12 field goals in the Game 1, but he did fall just short in Games 2 and 3, having done it in 5 of his last 10. He's also done it in 10 of his last 20. You can see some quite streaky performances from Donovan Mitchell. When you look at quite streaky performances, you got to think, when is he going to turn the tide? Here in this Game 4, it is do or die. He's got to turn the tide here. And make field goals is something against the Knicks that he hadn't done in the last 2 games. Did it in Game 1, did it in 3 of the 4 regular season games, and even once in the previous regular season. Donovan Mitchell has done it in 5 of his last 9 against the New York Knicks. You can see compared to the previous series against Detroit, he is getting consistently more minutes. And Kenny Atkinson's really counting on him. We got to expect that Kenny Atkinson will continue to count on Donovan Mitchell. And we look at his stats in elimination games. This was something that we did in the last time we had Donovan Mitchell as a prop, putting his stats in elimination games. That one was against Detroit. He played a great game in that elimination game, so that's the updated line for him. 27.4 points per game in 11 games dating back to his time in the Utah Jazz. He can perform in elimination games. He's done it before. His teammates have counted on him. We expect more of the same tonight in Cleveland. And I do expect overall, this is not one of my bets, but I do expect that Cleveland is going to stay alive and at least bring the series to New York for a Game 5. That being said, that is a wrap on the day. Happy Memorial Day. Hope everyone stays blessed. We will be back for some NBA and MLB tomorrow. We will have Game 5 of the Thunder and Spurs series tomorrow. It's going to be a great game in Oklahoma City. We cannot wait. And with that, let's see if the New York Knicks and Cleveland Cavaliers series continues on. Basketball fans, have a great day. Enjoy the game tonight and launch with purpose.